hope you've recorded my digitally enhanced joke.
No.
Oh.
The digitally enhanced joke. Now I'm intrigued.
Okay, here we go.
It's rock and roll.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
So, guess what, guys? Episode
40.
40.
Big 40.
Considering we started this after the pandemic, and we've done 40 episodes, how long is this pandemic? How long's a piece of string?
Apparently, it's half the full length.
Is it? Is it digitally enhanced or not?
It's double the half the length.
It's not digitally enhanced for sure.
There's got to be some good formula about how long is a piece of string. Sure, we could make this work.
Oh, there we are. There we are. Hello, boys.
Hello. Fancy seeing you here.
Yeah, fancy meeting you here. On a Saturday afternoon.
Saturday?
Is it Saturday?
Well, I'm not working.
It's Sunday. Dude, I don't even know what day of the week it is. You see, I can't even speak anymore.
It isn't, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, speaking about the week, how was the week?
Well, you know how I usually go for a 5?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just Groundhog Day.
Yes.
I may actually go to a 6 today.
Oh, really? Wow.
Wow, that's amazing. What happened?
Well, I mean, yes, it's still exactly the same as last week. So in general, it's... That's good for those listeners. No, the UK government has decided... The UK government has decided to give us a step-by-step plan. How are we going to get out of this pandemic and back to some semblance of normality?
Okay,
yeah.
Tell us.
Step by step.
How is it?
The secret formula.
Steps are there? How many steps are there? I hope this is not like a marathon.
No, well, this is. I mean, we're not going to do this simply, right?
No.
So basically, there's 4 steps, but actually, there's 5.
Okay.
Because step 1 is actually broken down into 2 stages.
Yeah.
But yes, theoretically, by June, we'll be back to normal. Everything's open, everything's working, and yes, that's the idea.
And is that on the back of the fact that they are rolling out the vaccine and
yes,
all those interesting
and
things?
Infection rates are dropping and death rates are dropping, and yeah, the vaccinations they project are already having an impact, and we just need to sustain that. So that everyone's getting excited and booking holidays, but actually there's a caveat. These stages are the stages, but the dates may move if it's not working.
Oh.
It's very much fine print. Everybody's so busy going, whoa, the end is nigh, and yeah, they might stumble and fall because there is this caveat. If the rates go up again, we're back again. So it's a bit of a...
I would love to know what Monty Python's take on the pandemic would have been. You know, if they were to make a Quest for the Holy Grail kind of movie. I'd love to know how it would turn out.
There's got to be carnage
What
in
would
this.
Brian say?
Yeah, good old life of Brian. So
yeah, the holy vaccination.
Yeah, the holy vaccination. The quest for the holy vaccination. Yeah. Yeah. So Oleg, how was your week?
I would rate it the solid 6.
Solid 6.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's
solid 6.
That's
solid.
Yeah, last week was pretty awesome. I think my last week was close to 7, right?
Yeah.
This week is solid 6.
Okay.
I'm down to earth now.
You back down to earth.
I'm down to earth.
The hype is over.
The hype is over.
Yeah, I must admit I'm probably just call it a 6.
Okay.
It's been a long week. I'm glad it's the weekend. There's nothing more to say about it. It's just the same thing every day. Work in, work out, wax on, wax off, that kind of thing. Work harder.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah. Talking about that, Lester, can you remember a South African advert there was a chocolate called Forward or Fast Forward?
I
Yeah.
remember that.
And they had the advert was on the highway going past Johannesburg on the M2, and there was a dwarf. What do you? Yeah, all of a sudden, I'm going.
Whoa.
Wait, hang on a second. All I'm going. Okay, when I talk about these guys,
No.
what am I allowed to call them?
Vertically challenged.
Okay, vertically challenged
Just
guy
don't call them little people.
on a car, right? And he's cracking the whip and he's going faster, faster. Right, okay, that was my best impression of the advert. But anyway, so I always think of like work harder, go faster. That's what I feel like at the moment.
Is the limit. Like, is the limit to how fast you can go?
Yeah, there is. I can only go
Yeah.
60 seconds a minute.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, just
Yeah.
just a
that's
quick,
as fast as I
quick
can go.
question. How many words a minute do you type?
No, let's not go into this.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't type very well.
Are you like one of those people that...
No, I
That's the whole
can't do
thing.
this, but
Yeah.
I can't do it without looking and taking my time.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
don't have like this
No,
whole muscle
no,
memory thing going?
no touch typing. Even though
Okay.
I did take typing in school,
Yeah.
but then screw this, I'm gonna go do art. So I went and I did art, and I'm useless at both. Anyway, talking about the COVID thing, I mean, not that we want to go down that rabbit hole, because I mean, it's been in our face for almost a full year now.
Just be careful what you say, because otherwise our podcast is gonna get demonetized.
It's demonetized already. The moment you go shit, fuck something, you've lost it already. Seriously,
Ka-ching.
that's the new rule this year.
Ka-ching.
Ka-ching. Yeah. What's the anti-ka-ching sound?
It's the sound of money leaving
It's just
the
that.
wallet.
It's the sound of
the-
tumbleweed crossing the road.
Okay, we digress. So, I suppose we're going to be, even though COVID will come to an end, like you talking about, they already got an action plan there in the UK. But I still feel that we're going to be experiencing the effects of the whole pandemic for months, maybe if not years from now. And South Africa is probably be one of the countries that is going to suffer the most. But I mean, I saw a thing the other day about the South African unemployment rate. So the unemployment rate between October and December last year was up to 32%. And this week, I think they mentioned that it's over 40% now.
Yeah.
And what was it this time last year, pre-pandemic?
Oh God, now you're asking me.
But like this time last year was already pandemic.
Yeah, I think it was 27 or something. I've got a number in my head of 27. Yeah.
Where's producer Bex when you need her?
Yeah, well, she's.
Sabbatical.
Oh yeah, I was going to say she's on
Sabbatical.
sabbatical. Just anyway, she'll be back next week. So then she'll work twice as hard.
So,
It's a very short
I mean,
sabbatical.
what was it? Did you say 35%?
Yeah, 32.5% between
Okay.
October and December. But I think this week they said that it had shot up to 40%. And I mean, yeah, dude, and
I mean, that's encouraging for people coming out of school and university. Yeah.
well, yeah, we can go down that rabbit hole if you want. Yeah, I don't know. Especially for people that are graduating. I think it's going to be difficult because I mean that means that in this country, formally there are like 11 million people without work, and yeah. But something that I found quite interesting was that the economic growth rate in the last couple of years has been between 1% and 2%, and they reckon that in 2021 the economy is going to expand by 3.6%. So I would imagine that's meant, obviously, with the unemployment, that the economy is contracted, and it's going to probably like rectify. But when it rectifies, it looks like it's increased by 3.6%. But actually, it might only be going back to what its levels were before the pandemic. So I suppose you always got to be careful when you look at these stats.
Yeah.
Anyway, but they're saying that the economic growth is not enough to make a dent in the unemployment rates.
Well, I think as well, if companies have been cutting back to ensure the survival of the organization, they're gonna run a slimline organization for a while yet, just to rebuild it
Yeah.
before they start taking on more people cost.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, here's also an interesting thing about this whole situation is like, think about this. You got a company who had to cut back on their salary bill. So either they laid people off or they reduced their salaries by a percentage, let's say 20%. Okay.
Mm.
So the company survives, right? It comes now to the end of the financial year, and now the CEO gets a pat on the back for doing such a great job at, making the company survive. And now he gets his bonus. Now, how do you think that the people that A, have been laid off, and B, people that had to take a salary reduction feel?
It's not going to go down well. I can guarantee you that.
And I bet they'll have some caveat going, well, it's not as big as it could have been.
Yeah.
So, he has taken a cut. She has taken a cut. Let's not be sexist about this.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's not going to go down well. I mean, like
Lead balloon kind of stuff.
if the company is not wasn't doing well, right? Even if they are starting to see the turnaround, I don't see why the executives would get a
Well,
bonus out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm throwing it out there. I'm saying, like,
But the thing is-
what's the vibe?
But the thing is, it's also like it really depends on the contract, because it's also a contract between, let's just say, the company and the executives.
Yeah.
So and those contracts, sometimes they're signed for like 2-3 years, sometimes for longer, depending on the company, and
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
There's a lot of caveats in those contracts. So I wouldn't like immediately say, it's a wrong thing to do. It's also really depends on the circumstances of what is the legal liability of the company if they don't pay the bonus, right?
I don't know. I mean, surely a lot of those, like the CEO's bonus is based on performance,
Yeah.
and hence the reason why he might be getting the bonus, because of the fact that under the revised financials or whatever, he still maybe exceeded expectations or whatever.
In both the negative and the positive way.
Well, I mean, it's quite. And I put this in inverted commas. It's quite easy to make the financials if you reducing people's salaries and maybe making people
Yeah.
redundant.
Yeah.
Because I never know how do they put like retrenchment packages or severances packages. I don't know what that looks like on the books, on the balance sheet. I don't know where they put that. Is it a thing that they've already been preparing for?
Yeah, they need to budget for that.
Yeah. So
Well, depending on the scale, but obviously
yeah,
the
yeah,
bigger
yeah.
the scale, the more you need to
Yeah.
budget for it.
Because I mean, like one's annual leave, the value of that sits on their books as a liability. Yeah. Anyway, okay, that's enough for our accountancy section this
I
morning.
think we stretched our knowledge.
I mean, look, another effect of this whole COVID thing was like last year. Obviously, we couldn't go and renew our driver's licenses. Not our drivers, our vehicle licenses. So I had to get mine done. I don't know. I think I did mine August, September last year.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone else has. So that means that everyone's licenses are expiring at the same time this year.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a flip and bun fight again to try and
It's
get
gonna
your license renewed.
So
Refresh my memory. You've got to go into a driver's licensing kind of place to get a new license renewal, right?
For
Wow.
Or do you-
cars, what they've done is they've opened it up. You can actually get them renewed at some spas, spa supermarket shops, and also at the post office. You can go there and get your car disc renewed. Yeah. I mean, what's it like in the UK?
But for the license, if your license expire,
What do you mean, your driver's license?
Driver's license, yeah.
Driver's license, yeah.
You
Driver's
don't have a
license, you've got to go into a
Licensing
licensing
center.
department,
yeah.
and you've got to book online for that now. And I mean, all the slots are gone.
Apparently, it can get quite interesting. I mean,
Well, I mean, take it now. My producer Bex is trying to book for her learner's license.
yeah,
She can't get a slot
like at all,
at all,
anywhere.
anywhere,
That is insane.
because, and they only have, I think it's 1 month or 2 months available. You know, like you can only see 2 months ahead,
Yeah.
and it's all booked. So, like, literally, you know, you've got to be going on every morning to go, oh, is there a new slot? No, there's no slot. Is there a slot? No, there's no slot.
I have a business idea. We need
You
to
got a
create,
business idea.
you get those programmable bots that actually bulk buy, they call them scrapers.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
just need to put a scraping code together for the licensing department.
But the thing is that you've got to use your ID number to book.
Yeah.
So I wonder how the bot's going to book on, because theoretically you can't book on more than one ID number.
You think so?
Well, that's the way it works.
Okay. Have you tried it?
Yes. Well, what do you mean? No, well, I haven't tried the bot thing. I've tried the physical, go in there, ding ding. Anyway, but
Well
yeah,
done.
so
Well done. Andrew was getting creative there.
no, you were getting creative. Anyway,
If there's a problem, you should
What's
be
it?
able to solve the problem.
yeah. Well, yeah. Look, I mean, where there's a problem, there's an opportunity to create a business, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Should I
listen,
tell you now that in the UK we don't have license discs anymore?
yeah, I
Wow.
was just about to ask, how does it work in the UK?
How does it work in the UK?
Everything's on number plate recognition systems,
Oh,
and
right.
there's a huge level of trust. So you get a letter through the post every year to say, is this car still on the road or not? And you have to renew your license, which you can do online.
Oh, no.
It takes 2 seconds online.
Yeah.
The only thing it checks for, and this is where databases are linked up, it checks if you've got sort of a roadworthy certificate. So you have to do that every year, which you do when you take your car in for service. So you have to have a valid one. It could run out next day, but it still has to be valid at the time of license renewal. And
Sure.
it's got to check to see whether you've got insurance. That's it, and it's done.
Okay. Yeah.
And
For us.
they've got cameras everywhere to do vehicle recognition.
And if
So
you're not licensed, then you get a fine on the post, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, talking about that, back in the day, when we used to get renewal slips in the post, you could send off a check. So, post a check to the licensing department, and they would renew it, and then they would send you the license back. Okay. 2 problems with that.
checks.
No more checks. I mean, who uses checks anymore? And secondly, what postal service? So I must tell you a story. A little bit of an aside thing, is that they still deliver post to my house, to the physical address, like not a post box, but to my physical house. The other day, there was a item of post that had arrived this past week that arrived for the previous owner. So what's today? Today, it's the 27th. So call it the 24th, 23rd of February.
Mm-hmm.
A Christmas card arrived.
You joking?
From 2019.
I don't know about from 2019, but
Oh,
well, let's call it 2020. I mean, 2 months, dude. 2 months late.
Pre-pandemic, the UK, you could post something today and it would be somewhere in the UK tomorrow.
Yeah.
That was a fairly regular thing.
Yes.
But then what
Now-
happened in the lead up to Christmas, the post office sorting officers, that started suffering with COVID outbreaks, and it's a massive backlog because people rely on post here. It works, so it's
Yeah.
fairly cost-effective way of getting
Yeah.
stuff around.
Well, we won't go into the whole thing of where that piece of post that was supposed to be sent from Australia to me just didn't.
Yeah, but you don't know if that was South African Postal Service or Australian Postal Service.
Or somewhere in between.
Or somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Either way. No, listen. I think the
I think we can safely assume it's South African.
yeah, safely assume it was South African. Yeah. But talking about things down under, I see that the New Zealand's closing the immigration offices here in Pretoria
Mhm.
because they're saying
I-
that
I w- Yeah,
because of the
I think we're going to see a flood of this kind of thing because no one's moving. There's less demand, so you'll get to the point where it doesn't make sense to have these offices anymore. Everything's going to move online, and where they might do immigration interviews, they'll probably do them online.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a drive to use
Technology.
IT solutions for all of this.
yeah, absolutely.
And New Zealand is probably just the start. I think everyone's going to jump on this bandwagon.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we'll see.
absolutely.
I mean, it's like the UK, right? By July, we can all go overseas on holiday. Apparently,
Mhm.
we don't have to go into quarantine when we come back, and all this. Well, I don't know about that, but we can't go anywhere because other countries are still locked down. So we're all getting all happy.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I
as,
can't go anywhere. Yeah.
but as I understand that different countries in Europe are getting different vaccine, right?
Yeah.
So then certain countries won't allow you in unless you've got a particular vaccine. So
don't think
you've
it's got
almost
that.
got like a vaccine visa, and if you don't have that visa, you can't come in.
They are talking about having vaccine passports.
Yeah, vaccine passport. Sorry. As
Can
a-
I just comment on this? So for someone who's been traveling extensively in Central and West and East Africa, right? I already have a vaccine passport. So I have a
what, like the yellow card thing?
yellow card.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking specifically the vaccine for COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
can have like all the different vaccines for COVID in one yellow book. And
Yeah, I
you
know,
can
but you
actually have
can't. But are you allowed to get all of the different vaccines?
Yeah.
Are you?
I had nine shots.
No, I'm talking
one
about
go.
multiple
Oh, I see where you're going
vaccines
with
for the
this.
same COVID.
Yeah, you're not going to get more than one COVID vaccine because
At
they're all
once.
effectively doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So you
But
just
some
are you just trying to
countries-
tick? Yeah, I've got the whole deck of cards here. Which one do you guys are happy with? Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's also this is not the same as other vaccines, right? I get that there's a vaccine card. I used to have one as well somewhere, but this is a lot more serious. So people could fake them.
Oh,
And that's the
yeah,
last
sure.
thing.
yeah, I didn't even think of that.
So they're talking about it being done somehow on a phone app. So you've always got it on you, like an
Yeah.
ID.
Okay.
But then, yeah, it's the start of that conversation. I mean, that also leads on to, people are being pushed to have a vaccine, but it's not mandatory. They can say no. And I was speaking to colleagues in Germany this week where people have gone, oh no, I forget which one. They were offered, they were scheduled to get their vaccine. They pitched up and they go, well, which flavor is it? And they said X, Y, Z, and they went, no, it's all right. Can we get the other one rather? I don't like that one. And they said, no, this is what you get. And they're like, no, thanks, and walk out.
That's crazy.
It's gonna
But
get
it's coming to the point where it's going to be interesting to see how employment rules change.
yeah.
If you have somebody, say you're a care worker company, and you have care workers that go and look after the elderly, you're probably going to want your employees to have a vaccine, so
All
they
of them.
don't. Yeah, but what if
And-
somebody says no? Do you then terminate their employment?
Well,
This is where we're starting to get to.
Well, I mean, that's a good point because Alex, that friend of mine who lives in Poland, who is a care worker in the UK, has decided to take a sabbatical because of the fact that there are just so many variables in the equation. One is the vaccine passport. Two is the if you get tested, there's a potential that he might be seen as positive because he's already had COVID. So
He has the antibodies.
yeah, so he said that the problem is that he might get stuck in the UK. In other words, not allowed to leave the UK because he tests positive, not being able to get back to Poland, and I might be getting some of the facts wrong here, but not being able to get back to Poland in time, which could jeopardize his residency.
In Poland.
Yeah,
Or
so
in the UK.
yeah, well, for Poland.
Okay.
So it's creating so many. Even though the vaccine's coming, and you can move around, and there's still these little T's and C's and the little fine print that goes along with it.
You know what's another really cool thing? So it's most likely you're gonna have to be vaccinated every year.
What, for COVID?
Yeah.
I suppose every time a new strain comes out
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
like the flu injection,
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not just gonna be like once off and then you can go ahead and jet off.
I see.
Right?
Let's see where they go with that, because I mean, flu vaccines have been around, and in the UK they get them out for free as part of the health service for a classification of the population depending on your vulnerability. Because I mean, there's like, I don't know, 20-odd thousand people a year die in this country from flu.
Yeah.
It's hectic.
By the way,
So-
did you guys have a flu season this year?
How can you tell?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm just wondering because we skipped our flu season. We did not have a flu season this year.
Yeah, there was still. I don't know. No, I wouldn't say. I don't know if it's flu or not. I mean, I don't see anyone, so how do I know?
Okay.
But yeah, there was definitely still snivels and the usual winter inflictions. But yeah,
But I mean, we know people that have had flu, thought that it was COVID, went and got tested and it wasn't COVID. So I'm sure we might not have had a big flu season as we had before, but I'm sure there are people that had flu that was not COVID.
yeah.
But it's like so minute in comparison to the other problem. I don't know. I mean,
I saw an article somewhere like a few weeks back, basically saying that we skipped our flu season this year because
yeah, but I mean,
everybody's
how do
wearing
they work that out? That there was not one case of
no,
any other flu than COVID.
I think there were flu cases. I think it just wasn't as widespread.
Yeah, sure.
widespread
Yeah.
as it usually is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that's quite a strong statement to say that we didn't have a flu season. I mean, that's quite a
Technical, yeah.
Yeah, well, it does
Getting
get
technical.
technical because it's like, okay, what makes you decide that? Anyway, I didn't have flu. That I
Also
can
didn't-
guarantee.
then I also
And
didn't
you
have
don't
flu.
need any stats for that because I can tell you.
But you generally have flu every year, right?
So, well, there you go.
Well,
There's the
I've-
proof, right?
I haven't
You've not
had-
had flu, so there's been no flu season in your world.
Yeah. Well, in my little world, yeah. It was my
Your
little-
empirical
Yeah.
world of one.
Yeah, exactly. World of one. Yeah. But I mean, to be honest, I actually haven't had like flu for probably about 2-3 years now. I've got a cold and all that stuff, but I haven't had that thing where like, your skin's crawling and you've got a temperature and like you're in bed for 2 days.
I'm going to tell you,
Yeah.
there's a thing that happens to many South Africans who come to the UK. Invariably, within the first 2 months of them arriving in the UK, if they're moving to the UK to live,
Yeah.
they get flu.
Yeah.
They get flu, and it hits hard. It's unlike any flu you've ever had before. It wipes you out. It
It's
like
brutal.
slam dunks you. Yeah, you
Uh,
can't do
is
anything.
that
You can't
because
move.
you haven't had it before and you don't have the antibodies, and this flu is a different variant than the ones that they would have where they were coming from?
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just uncanny. Just about every South African I talk to.
When I was in
Yeah,
UK,
all had
I
the
stayed
same
in UK
experience.
for like I think 6 weeks within like first 4 weeks because I went there in I think November, right? Within the first 6 weeks, for 4 weeks, I got sick. I got
Yeah.
like really sick, properly.
Yeah. But I mean, it's, talking about that, how often when people have traveled internationally,
Yeah.
that they come back and they've got something.
So you know what
They
was
got it
funny?
on the plane or
So you know what
wherever.
was funny? Like one of the only trips, like really long trips that I did not get anything was the trip to Canada.
And what
Hang on.
airlines did you come back on?
BA.
BA. Okay.
And they
Hold
actually
on.
flew
Hang on.
through
Hang on.
Heathrow.
This is the one. Isn't this the trip where the pandemic followed you?
Yeah.
Is this the one where you were
Yeah,
coming back from Canada
Haven't
the
got
last
time
time?
to get
Yeah,
sick.
Yeah, I can see that in cartoon mode
He
right
didn't get
now.
sick, but he still went into quarantine.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, man, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the implications of this thing are pretty heavy. And I think we're going to be we might be talking about the pandemic for a long time, but we'll be talking about all the other things that have coming as a result, like the vaccine passports and the unemployment. And I mean, also like working from home, listening to how the guys are talking in the corporate world. I mean, they're just acknowledging that, well, ever go back to the office again? Probably not. Maybe 2 to 3 times during the week, if you have to. If not, stay at home.
Yeah.
And I think that's also, like, I think people, maybe in the back of their mind, they thought that by the end of 2020, this would be over. And that 2021 would be a clean slate. There might be a little bit of residual stuff from 2020, including a little bit of residual from the COVID thing. And, like, we'll start afresh. And we'll all go back to the office, or we'll slowly be going back into the office. Now, all of a sudden, I think the reality is setting into people that, no, that's not the case. You're actually going to be working from home for a lot longer, like indefinitely, if you want to put it that way. And I think all of a sudden there's like a little bit of a stress factor that's involved in that. Because I think people didn't fully appreciate the fact that, okay, this is going to become a new normal. Even myself, okay, not that I was expecting to go back to the office, but I just think that the sort of like, the intensity of things is just still there, even though, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, work-wise, seems to be so much busier.
Do you think it's an intensity, or do you think it's like this thing driven by the uncertainty?
I think we've been working in a particular way while we've been working from home.
Yeah.
And that I think we've been like, holding on because we can see the end.
Yeah.
The end of the lights at the end of the tunnel, right? And we're saying, almost there. And we get there and we go, oh shit, it's still the same. Yeah. And I think then it's like, I suppose it's like running a race and the board saying you've got 3Ks left. And when you finish the 3Ks, you actually realize you've still got another 10Ks to go because they got the board wrong. It was actually 13, not 3. If you know what I mean. And I think we've like almost got to readjust now that we know, okay, well, this is how it's going to be going forward. We almost need to readjust in the way that we are working from home. We need to now establish new rules of engagement because, and maybe I'm going a little bit too much into work now, but the thing is that from a meetings point of view, the number of meetings that we're having every day during the week is just increasing. Whereas like now, I mean, at one stage I was like, okay, maybe I had 2-3 meetings during the day. Now I'm having like 4 meetings. They start at like 9 o'clock in the morning. They finish at like 1-2 o'clock. If you've got...
When do you get anything done?
No, well, exactly. You only really start working at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's rough.
When I say working, like, okay, I've got stuff to do.
Let's get this
start. Anyway, okay, we digress.
I was talking to people about that because I'm just looking at my diary now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I had 11 meetings yesterday, pretty much back to back from.
That is insane.
From first thing before I even officially start work to after I finish work.
Yeah.
And that's back to back. And then I still got to do all the emails on top of that. Yeah. So this has been like this every day for a long time.
And how do you feel now when you realize, okay, that's how the rest of the year is going to be like?
But everyone's doing the same thing. Everyone's doing the same thing. We cannot go back to normal that easily because we've now developed a new working culture. I mean,
Yeah.
if I go back, I have to factor in I'm going to lose 2 hours a day commuting. I can't just finish work at 7, 8 at night anymore because I've got to catch trains. I've got to move around. I've got to go and buy food. I've got to cook stuff. Whereas you could multitask before. Suddenly the working, the outputs are going to be less. Maybe I'll have less meetings because a lot of the meetings I have are just with one person because I've got to grab some of their time. It's not like you can just go and grab them because you see them in the office. Now you actually have to grab them in the diary to see them. So yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to go back to. Certainly from my company's perspective, we are anticipating a more flexible working environment. We're going to have to change all our office setups so it is more suitable for flexi working. We're developing an app which you have to book a desk, you have to book a parking space, you have to book a meeting room, whatever it is.
Yeah, England's
So
talking about
so yeah, we are doing all of that stuff. It's not a cost saving initiative. It's just you got to change it because our working habits have changed.
that. Yeah.
Not the whole
exactly,
team's going to be in the office anymore.
Mm.
So we're gonna have to retrain ourselves. I'm gonna have to change. I can't just figure out, I'm gonna have to fly somewhere. I don't know. I'm gonna lose a lot of time in my diary for the extra commuting. I haven't got that sort of time lying around. I'm gonna have to really think about this.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've
That's pretty
digressed
interesting.
into
Yeah, I know
stuff.
we've gone down that rabbit hole. It's probably because it's been this thing that it's been in my head the whole week. Is like, how the hell are we going? We need to change the rules of engagement. I mean, someone the other day suggested, hey, why don't we just have a meeting free Wednesday? And everyone went, sounds like a great idea, but how the hell are we going to do that? Because that just means you just move the problem from one day to another. You know what I mean?
Yes,
it's not
exactly.
like you're going to eliminate the meetings. You're just moving them to another day. So instead of being in meetings half of Tuesday, now you're going to be in meetings the whole of Tuesday. No meetings on Wednesday. There might be some benefit to that, but the thing is that you still haven't got rid of the meetings.
Can I make a suggestion, right?
Yeah.
You could have like a few meetings. You can realistically cut down the amount of meetings you have by 60% if you change the way we communicate. Like
Absolutely.
Generally, when I sit in the meetings, my contribution in that meeting out of 30 minutes would maybe be 30 seconds.
Sure. No, I agree with that. And that's why I say that the rules in engagement must change. Like in some cases, we would have rules on the wall in the meeting room that says, okay, this is how you engage in a meeting. You've got to be on time, be engaged, allow people to have, their rules, have an agenda, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's what I'm saying is now that we've now come to the realization that we're still going to be working like this going forward, right? That we need to now start talking about, okay, right, how do we do this? Okay, so you can only have meetings must only be so long, or, if you're setting up a meeting, there has to be an agenda. If you inviting someone, they need to know what their contribution is going to be to the meeting, and what are they going to get out of the meeting.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like this week, it landed up now. It's now landing up into the situation where I've got 2 meetings running concurrently. So I've got to jump into one meeting and say, hey, please can I give my feedback first? I give my feedback for the first 10 minutes. And then I jump out of that meeting, I jump into another meeting, and then give my feedback there. Okay.
I often had the situation where I'm in 2 meetings concurrently. I'm just running one from my computer and then
One
the other
other
one
one.
from work.
I see the same stuff happening here, where I'm on 2, one on the laptop and one on the phone.
Cell phone, yeah.
Both Teams meetings, and you can't listen to. It's a nightmare.
One
Yeah.
earbud with the other earbud.
I mean, I've got 2 cell phones, and I have been like that before. But I think, do you not think that? I just think it used to be that you'd have a meeting with a set agenda, and a lot of it was an update. So and so would go with an update, and then the next person would go with their update, and so on.
Yes. Yeah.
But
don't-
actually, you can do all of that ahead of time
Yeah.
because people are already presenting slides or whatever, a report or whatever. You can share and give a synopsis of that ahead of time so people have read it and digest it and understand it. Done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
your meeting is then cut short to go, well, have you got any questions on this?
Yeah.
Bang,
So
move
I
on.
think having like what you would call a stand-up meeting seems to work pretty well as long as you've got the person that's managing the meeting is very good at what they're doing
They
in
need
terms
to,
of
they need to
So in
know
other
that-
words, and it's so difficult because when we were doing the stand-up meetings in the office, the guy could start shaking his hands, then you knew that you were talking too much. Like now, when you're doing a virtual thing and you don't have your cameras on, it's a little bit difficult to send out that notification. But the thing is that if you're doing a stand-up meeting, and like for instance, like we're doing sprints, so we've got a 2 to 3 week sprint. So then what will happen is that you've got tasks on the board. Before you go to the meeting, you've got to update your tasks on the board. So whether it's done or whatever, if there's stuff to be given feedback on it, you've got to give it in a short and concise point of view. And if there's more detail that needs to be explained and it only involves one or two other people or it affects one or two other people, you arrange a meeting offline to have a meeting with them about that specific issue.
That's actually a pretty reasonable way to do it.
Yeah. And the thing is, when you're having those meetings every day and they're working well, and you like the meeting is half an hour, and in half an hour you've done everything. Everyone's given their feedback, and if they are sort of like, okay, we'll touch base for 5 or 10 minutes afterwards about this or that or whatever, that works very well. You know how frustrating it is when you go into a normal meeting that's an hour long.
Yeah.
That people are just waffling and going off on tangents, and it's not well controlled. And like 45 minutes into the meeting, you could, oh, fuck, like we've actually only done 15 minutes worth of meeting. And the other 30 minutes has been people talking absolute rubbish. You know what I mean? Now, I understand that sometimes you also need to vent and just relax and have a, catch up with the people. But that's a separate meeting. That Friday morning virtual tea, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But when you've been in those sprint meetings that work very well and they short and sharp and get done, and then you go into another meeting and the people are just going on and talking about stuff that's not relevant.
Would you think it's like in those big meetings, you like generally in the end people ask like, do you have any questions? And just like there's a long, uncomfortable.
Yeah, like no one's gonna say anything because I don't want.
Yeah, please, I just want to go.
I think that's like, like the more appropriate
I'll
question
send
is
you
like,
an email.
is everyone still awake? Raise your hands.
Yeah.
But in reality, the good practice, like even at the general meeting, is that if anyone has any questions or comments, they need to basically post them before
In the
the
chat.
meeting, in the
Or,
chat before the
in
meeting
chat,
ends.
yeah.
So there's no like, okay, does anyone have any questions? You just go through a list of questions and then you wrap up the meeting. Boom, done.
Yeah. So I see Alex from
No,
Poland
I
is
do
busy
like those
watching.
long, boring meetings because that's when I catch up on email, especially working from home. That's
What, during the meeting?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
but you
it's
know
a
what I
great time
found?
to catch-
No, but you know what I found is, yes, you can do stuff during the meeting, but you know what happens is then all of a sudden I get consumed into an email. And then someone will like, Andrew, what was, what are your thoughts on that? I'm going, sorry, you're talking to
Which
me.
Andrew? Andrew, me?
Which Andrew? Well, fortunately, most of the time there's more than one Andrew in the meeting.
Buying time,
So I can
buying
buy
time.
time by say, was that
I-
Marshall, the other Andrew that, anyway.
Could you just repeat the question in more context for what I do?
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I have a problem. Oleg might have the same problem. Yeah, there's not many Lesters.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe-
Or Alex.
no.
Anyway, but moving on, some technology stuff. We were talking about the visa thing with New Zealand and all that. But some other technology stuff that I saw coming through in the week was in January this year, Samsung announced that their Galaxy Watches, the Active 2 and the Watch 3, were going to be receiving support for ECG and blood pressure monitoring.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's
Well, I've
amazing.
got a Active 2, so I'm very keen to see how it works.
Okay, so is that going to be like a firmware update or like?
Yeah, I think there's an app and then obviously they have to update the software on the
Okay.
phone, on the watch.
Yeah.
But I see that they're saying that the places that will support the new update are everywhere except for South Africa.
Except for South Africa.
How come?
I don't know. I don't know
I
what
don't
to
understand it either because
they get it in Slovakia and
it's-
Slovenia, but they don't get it in South Africa, and they even get it in Iceland. Go
maybe it's
figure.
just a licensing thing.
Yeah, maybe. But I see they said, if you're not part of the mentioned countries, you can install the new software updates on your watch, and then you can install the app off the Galaxy store. So I'm going to see if I can do that this week,
That's pretty neat.
and then I'll give you a report back next weekend. Maybe I'll even do a video around it.
No. Like for next week, can we see your blood pressure graph for the whole week so we can just discuss the most important points? Okay, there's a spike there. Like what happened?
Let's correlate with what you were doing at the time.
We're gonna correlate it with the meeting schedule.
That's rather
Was it the
personal,
podcast?
guys. That's rather personal.
What were you doing that hour before the podcast?
Yeah, no, I'll take my watch off. Okay. But I mean, just on that point, I was just wondering, like, how does this thing actually take your blood pressure? I'm gonna have to go and investigate.
Yes, please. Yeah. Let
But-
us know.
Well, I mean, this kind of raises something that's I've been looking at from a distance for some time, which was smart clothes.
Smart clothes.
And-
Okay.
Yeah, where tech is actually part of the clothes that you wear.
Mm.
They've been,
Mhm.
and we've had like beanie hats that have had built-in headphones, and that
Headphones,
kind
yeah.
of stuff has been around for a while.
Yeah.
But there's actually during lockdown around the world, some good stuff's come out. Like Levi's has come up with this denim jacket that's got built-in Bluetooth.
Mm-hmm.
And while I mean, it syncs with your phone. Obviously, all these things tend to do that.
Mm.
But if you're waiting for your Uber taxi, your jacket actually tells you that it's arrived.
What? That it vibrates?
Yeah. Or
So they-
electrocuted. That would be cool.
Do they make those in jeans as well?
They only got it in a jacket.
Oh no!
Yes.
Damn.
So it was collaboration between Levi and Google.
Oh,
That's pretty
okay.
cool.
Yeah,
I
that's
think,
pretty cool.
I think it's only the better time before it makes its way to other forms of clothing.
I'm just looking at the other
Like
ones. That
underwear.
Oh, who's the guy that runs that cocky brand?
Glenn.
Yeah, maybe give him
Yeah,
some ideas.
I'll have to. Yeah, I'll have to tell Glenn that he needs to bring out. But now the question is that the Bluetooth device in the jacket and all that. Surely you must be able to take that out when you wash your jacket, right?
Well, this is it. So the thing I was looking at, and I've just got it open here. There's things that we like and don't like about this tech. So
Yeah.
basically, the jacket's only available in one color.
Okay.
It still requires your phone for it to obviously sync, and so if you don't have a compatible phone, it doesn't work. But yes, it is washable,
Mm.
and most of the tech clothes are washable. There's
Interesting.
quite a few. And going back to blood pressure and stuff, there's a lot of tech being done in socks and shoes.
Mhm.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It's a bit of a problem
Again,
because
but-
socks don't last very long. Well, mine don't.
It intrigues me for all sorts of reasons because we were looking at tech. We have a lot of people who work on their own, and for health and safety purposes, we want to know if they've been electrocuted or not. You know, if they collapse, because nobody would find them for hours.
What in the
Something
data
happened.
center?
So we were looking at this quite seriously, going,
Yeah.
we already have lone worker alarm systems that pick up whether you're vertical or still or sleeping or whatever it is. We've got this stuff already, but it's quite a hassle. You got to walk around with it's just like a pen that you put in your pocket. You got to walk around with this. Remember, you've got it. So we already provide uniforms for the guys that work there, and a lot of it has high vis built in and is tough enough for the jobs that they do. But so I was looking at this, going, well, why if we can just build the two together, why can't we?
Sure.
When I was looking at it 4 or 5 years ago, there was already the tech to do that. We just didn't have enough of demand for it to become the norm.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's loads of this stuff. I'm just
But I
looking
mean,
at
talking about that-
Snapchat sunglasses.
Yeah.
I mean, really?
Snapchat sunglasses.
Isn't Apple working on glasses as
Yeah,
well?
they do. They are. And I see Google's reinitiated their Google Glass project
It's very
as
cool.
well.
It's very cool. So
And
is that,
So your
Facebook is
glasses
also
basically,
Facebook
yeah,
is
it's
also
like a
working.
live Snapchat. You can
Yeah.
you can do video streams, photos, all that with your glasses, and you instantly syncs and updates, and you can see messages as well.
Jeez,
But
dude,
this
but I
goes
mean, just
so
think about this. Think about that in
Information
terms of
overload.
industrial espionage.
yeah. Oh,
Like
absolutely.
and then we'll
Yeah.
go back to Formula One because I love
Let's
Formula
not
One.
mention 007 or anything like
No,
that.
no, no. I'm not mentioning 007. But I mean, it is something out of a 007 movie.
yeah.
But I mean, you can imagine the guys at Formula One just
Hmm.
wearing glasses and walking around and looking at the cars. Because they were, did you know, and now we digress again, did you know that each team employs a permanent photographer? And his job is to photograph all the other cars.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Doesn't surprise me.
But I mean, geez, with HD TV, you can do that now. Like the normal broadcast, you don't even have to have someone dedicated anymore. You have a flippin' 4K TV or video stream. You flip and you just snapshot, zoom in. Interesting little fin there on the right-hand side or
I
whatever.
wonder what it's made of.
Yeah, it's carbon fiber.
But can you imagine, like, if you can take that, take further and have like a spectral camera, but does the spectral analysis like of
What
all the
it's made of and all that
major
kind of
elements
stuff.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
insane stuff.
Here we go. Dude.
Oh,
What I'm looking forward
sorry,
to.
I just looked at the other one on this tech list. Swimsuits that do that have UV sensors, and that your swimsuit syncs with your phone. The UV is constantly being monitored by your swimsuit, and it tells you whether there's a change in UV, and it tells you when to put suntan lotion on.
That's neat.
That's cool.
That's neat.
That's
Like
cool.
what I'm really looking forward to is like with the whole glasses tech is like the whole augmented reality in terms of like
Yeah.
how they're actually going to bring that in.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't know if you ever watched the Google Glass demo that they, or like demo video that they put on years ago.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. I mean, can you imagine you're walking, like your WhatsApp message comes up while you're looking down the street.
Yeah, and then you get hit by a Tesla
Yeah, you get hit by the Tesla. Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
super quiet and you didn't hear it.
Yeah. So just going back to the watch thing quickly. I've just realized what I'm going to have to do to be able to demonstrate next week how this thing works. That's if I can get it to
You
work.
have to wear it for the whole week.
Yeah, and also I need to calibrate it. It says the blood pressure monitoring requires calibration before use. So I'll have to get a dedicated blood pressure monitor reading.
Yeah. Do you have one?
No, I'll just go to my doctor and just ask him to do my blood pressure.
Okay.
Yeah. Say, hey, can you, no, it's wrong. Do it again. I won't tell him what I'm
Sorry.
doing.
My
think I
phone
might
says I
have a-
don't have any blood pressure.
Yeah.
Can you do it
I
again?
might have a blood pressure monitor somewhere. I'll check.
Oh,
for you.
really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That would be cool because I would like to. I really want to try it. But
It's
But I
now
wonder
like
what-
one of the old school ones with a gauge.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Do you know how to operate it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah. Is that the one where you've got to listen with the stethoscope?
No. It's the one with the gauge. You know.
Oh, it's right. Which actually reminds me.
You're
Yeah.
still
anyway.
talking about the blood pressure monitor or something else.
No, I'm talking about the blood pressure monitor. But I wonder how the ECG thing works. I mean, is it like constantly monitoring all the time, and then it's looking for your change in rhythm? I don't know. We'll
But
test it out.
Hypothetically, in terms of this medical tech, wouldn't it be also quite easy to have the EGG that measures the like your brain wavelength
Yeah, I think that's a little
in
bit
the cap?
different.
In the cap, like you just put on the cap.
Yes.
And it's like it
Yeah.
syncs with your phone, and you're like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had this conversation a little while ago. Remember I was saying to you about the personal assistant listening to your voice?
yeah.
And then one day, then you'll be able to have some thought thing where you
Yeah.
can control
Send
your
an
phone with your
email.
thought.
Send
And
an
then-
email to Marsh.
Yeah, and then the
Boom,
guys, the guys are going to be like tapping in. They're waiting for the wake up command, But meanwhile, they're listening to all my thoughts, waiting for the wake up command.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let's just harvest that data a little bit so we can improve the service. And before you know it, yeah.
But
Well, like, I
wait,
mean,
can I make a suggestion? Like on
yes.
that note, like one of the segments that we should add, it's what are the Instagram and Facebook ads that been bombarded to you this week?
That's a good. Oh, I haven't really been on social media this week. Can you believe it?
No way.
If I was to check my phone now to check what my social media use was, let's see if I can do that quickly.
Facebook, 15 minutes. You know, Twitter, most likely 5 minutes. TikTok, 16 hours.
16 hours. So apparently,
I think you're being too kind.
yeah. Okay, so I don't do this often, so I don't know where to actually find this on the Samsung.
Isn't there like a thingy that gives you an overview of how much time you spend
Yeah.
on apps?
That's what I'm saying. I'm busy looking for it now.
They hear it because they don't want you to see it. They're like, oh, let's
Samsung
just
Kids Music
I was
Share.
I was talking about that
routines.
tech and the Levi jacket. You know, yesterday was Levi Strauss Day.
no way.
Really?
I didn't even know. I mean, how do they get their own day? I mean,
Well, I suppose if
Doesn't
you've
make
been
sense.
making denim jeans for 300 years.
yeah. Why? So, what about the other denim and clothing manufacturers? What about?
Can you
like,
remember when you were in primary school that you used to have those readers that you had to, I don't know if you ever had that, where you had to, it was like I can remember it was like a box, okay? And it was different colors depending on what reading level you were on. And so you would go there, and as you progressed through them, you would go and get the next one. And it would be like a folder, and you'd bring it out, and it would be like a comprehension, and then you would have to answer the questions based on that, that thing that you just read.
Yeah.
Out of all the ones that I did in all my life, the only one I ever remember was the story about Levi Strauss.
That's interesting.
Because one of the stories was how Levi Strauss started.
Wow, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
And
And
that's
that was
the
like
only-
in primary school or?
Yeah, in primary school.
That's
I
pretty
was
neat.
going to say
Jeez,
this
I
is
can't remember what I
this
had
is like
for
halfway through
breakfast
high school.
yesterday. Yeah, no, I can't remember. I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday, but I can remember reading the Levi Strauss story when I was
That's
in
amazing.
grade, I don't know, what's it, standard 5, grade 7, whatever. Okay, where do I find this damn thing
But-
here?
I think it would be quite cool to have like a cap
Sync
with a bunch of
view.
sensors that measure your EEG waves.
EEG.
EEG waves.
Yeah, so they can tell you just about before you're going to have an epileptic fit.
No, they can actually like.
They're
you
going to
can
tell you
actually-
what you need to think before you think it.
Yeah. You can actually stimulate your brain with those sensors. It's not like only one-way measurement. It's only
Yeah.
send shocks, and
Yeah.
that will work ideal for you because
Have you found it?
No, not yet. So,
So
Oleg
talk
is
about
distracting
augmented
me.
reality.
Yeah.
Today is Pokemon Day.
that's cool.
Again, why do they have a day?
Pokemon Day.
Did you guys ever play Pokemon?
Well, like Pokemon Go
Oh, boy.
is
Yeah.
is you linked with maps and yeah.
Mm. And this is one thing that I've heard during the week. I was reminded of this, that if you do not pay for a service, like if you don't pay to play Pokemon Go, you are the product. You understand what that means?
No.
Well, if you're not paying for something, right, then you are the product. You are the thing that they are selling.
That
So like
doesn't
Google
make any
Maps,
sense.
like Google Maps, right? You get Google Maps for free, right? So you don't pay
Right.
for it,
Yeah.
but you are the product because you are generating
Revenue.
data that they are then using and on selling. Okay, and the same thing with Pokemon Go, right? What they were doing with Pokemon Go is that you were then going and gathering data for them by going to all these different places.
That's pretty neat. I have to admit, that's pretty clever.
Yeah. Because
I don't like being called a
was another
product.
game. There was another game
Cell phone game.
before Pokemon Go. What was it called? It was Inno something.
It's that game where you had to go and capture stuff.
Yes,
In
and
a- in a
you were
Matthew-
fighting.
And you had to fight people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know which one you're talking
The
about.
data that was gathered there, they use for Pokemon Go.
You serious?
Yeah. So
That's
all
pretty
the
impressive.
like the geo tagging data,
Yeah.
they then reuse that in Pokemon Go.
But it's pretty, like, you have to admit, it's a pretty cool concept for the game. Obviously, like...
Well, I don't know. They put Pokemons on the railway lines. So,
Ooh.
yeah, kind of good idea, but it's
I mean, so when
it's
that
not quite
stuff,
there.
It's pretty safe for us. Our trains don't go very often.
yeah. But I mean, you heard stories about people getting knocked over by cars and all that because they were so busy engrossed in the Pokemon Go app that they would like walk over across, across the road or something like that.
People
without
walking
checking.
off the cliffs and stuff like
Well,
that.
it was quite funny because it caused an increase in traffic problems because parents wanting to help their kids catch as many Pokemons used to drive and collect the Pokemons as they drove, right? But of course, if multiple people are doing the same thing, the Pokemon disappears and they have to keep driving around the same area until it reappears.
That must be quite weird.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've just Googled
Have you found it yet?
No, I just Googled it. Digital well-being and whatever. Okay. So in the last week, so how do I see this? App times, bedtime mode. This says improve your digital. This is... They don't like give me for the week.
Hey, man, are we still live? Because it's been going an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're still live.
We're still live.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we just lose track of time.
Yeah, I know. Time flies when you're having fun. Yeah, we're still alive. Okay,
Go on then.
so I'm looking at this.
Is that just for today?
This is every day for the week. So
Oleg, is this
see.
part of your digitally enhanced joke?
No. This is a part of my digitally enhanced self.
okay, so
He's stunned. Look at him. He's lost for words.
on Sunday, according to this, I spent 5 hours on my phone last Sunday.
Yeah. 4.5 hours on Pornhub.
No, yeah. 2 hours, 2 hours and 20 minutes on YouTube. 2 hours, 2 hours and 20 minutes on YouTube. Messenger, this is Facebook Messenger, 39 minutes. But that was because I was on a call. WhatsApp, 20 minutes. Duolingo, 16 minutes. TikTok, 15 minutes. So on and so on and so on.
How do you manage to only do 15 minutes on TikTok?
Only manage to do?
Okay,
Yeah, you must have got a call.
And then on Monday was Monday was again YouTube 2 hours and 52 minutes, Teams 40 minutes, Microsoft Teams, WhatsApp 31 minutes, Facebook 11 minutes, Instagram 10 minutes, no TikTok.
Well, it's
Tuesday.
a working day.
Tuesday, 32 minutes on WhatsApp. That's 17 minutes on Instagram, 12 minutes on YouTube. That's it. 5 minutes on Tinder. Wednesday, 2 hours and 21 minutes on YouTube. WhatsApp, 54 minutes. Teams, 34 minutes. Instagram, 23 minutes. What else? Tinder, 7 minutes. Okay.
Oleg, we've lost your camera, mate.
Oh, really?
Batteries died.
Maybe the batteries died.
Batteries died, yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. My mic is still live. Maybe because of the overexposure drained the battery.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's cool.
I should have thought of that.
I
should maybe just plug it in.
That's interesting, though. So what were we... I've forgotten why you were looking at that.
I have no idea. Oh, shit. Anyway, we were talking about days of the week.
You are the product, and we've just realized what apps are suitable for you and how much time you spend on your phone.
Yeah, but it just shows you how busy my week is. I'm sure if I went back a couple of weeks, you would see what my usage was. It was like super high on some, like TikTok. Oh my God. But funny enough, TikTok's not a problem for me anymore. I don't even open the app. Hardly ever open the app.
It's already open.
And, but if I do, it's just in
Yeah.
down the rabbit hole, dude.
Yeah. God,
Anyway.
you could lose life there. It should come with a warning label.
Right. Okay. So to end off, we're gonna do South African slang quickly.
Yeah.
And this is one we've done before, and we're just going to reiterate it because it is linked to the show pretty well. And it's the good old South African chop, lamb chop, or other kind of chop, right? So this word has been 100% South African originated, right? It means a huge idiot. So huge, he takes the award for being an idiot or the fool. It's the first definition I've heard of when it says it like that. But look, it's generally used in a friendly tone. So it's almost like a term of endearment. And an actual chop is a bright chop in South Africa. So, and the reason why I want to point this out is because obviously you joining the Weekend Craic. There are 3 chops on the kræk every week. That's the 3 of us. But
Choppies.
choppies.
But the way does Choppies franchise have anything to do with like this chop? Are they referring to like lamb
I
chops?
don't think so.
Or like no?
I don't think so.
You know about Choppies?
Yeah,
franchise.
I know about choppies. Yeah.
They're huge in Botswana.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if Botswana they know what a chop is. Not
I think
a lamb chop, but
the
a
actual
chop.
chop. Actual chop.
An actual chop.
I'm pretty sure.
Like as a person. Yeah. Anyway, so what I want you to say is, for anyone that's watching this now or going to be watching this later, right? Just to remind people that the podcast is supported by one of my side hobbies or my side businesses, which is selling apparel. Okay. So as you can see, I'm wearing a Weekend Craic t-shirt. Oleg's also wearing one, but his camera's died.
You can't see, yeah.
You can't see because he's got load shedding at the moment.
I was overexposed.
He was overexposed for too long. So the point is that on the Nerve Apparel Facebook page, from Monday, you will be able to order a Weekend Craic t-shirt, long sleeve shirt, or hoodie if you want. Okay. Generally available in South Africa. If you're from overseas, like Leicester, we're going to have to organize one for Leicester. I will make a plan to get one to people overseas if they want to order one. Okay, so the prices and all that shit will be on the shop there. And the point of that is just it does help support the podcast and in terms of running it, because sometimes a lot of things in life are free. Remember, if they're free, you are the product. In this case, it's not the product. So if you don't want to be the product, buy a shirt. Then you're paying for it.
And we'll use
geez,
the
I
African
can talk
Post
shit.
Office to deliver it.
Yeah.
To the first 5 minutes of the show.
Yeah. So, I mean, to courier it around in South Africa, I'm talking about this. I went to check. How much would it cost me to courier a t-shirt to the UK or the US using Postnet? How much do you think it costs?
$150.
$150.
Yeah, that's what would be my guess.
Lester, what would you be prepared to pay?
I think that's what they would charge using Postnet.
I hadn't thought about this. Have you thought about import duties as well?
Well, no. Let's just talk about just
postal
straightforward
couriering
it from South Africa to the US or UK.
Yeah, that's about right.
150
What
rand.
Oleg said, yeah.
150
Yeah.
rand.
Yeah.
You got it wrong. $550.
You're joking.
I'm not joking.
You serious?
It's just like a personalized service where the courier is chauffeured.
No, he's dispatched.
It's a hand-to-hand delivery service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, so that's the story. $500. 550
insane.
rand, yeah.
That is insane.
Anyway, so if someone overseas wants a t-shirt, hoodie, or long sleeve shirt, I'll make a plan to get it to you somehow. I don't think I'll be couriering it from South Africa, but I'll make a plan. Anyway, so I just wanted to put that out there. Nerve Apparel. Yeah, there you go.
Don't be a product.
Monday. Don't be the product, buy a product.
You should actually
just going
make
back
a t-shirt.
Can we get it can we get it for all chops? So all chops can wear this. Can we get it with the word chop written on it?
Well, no. So what
Choppies.
I'm going to do, I'm going to do one like this, which is the Weekend Craic, and there will be a chop related one as well available as of Monday. I'll leave it as a surprise. Perhaps I'll show it on the show next week.
Are you just gonna have a picture of a chop?
Something like that, yes.
Awesome.
Right.
Chop or no chop?
Chop to chop or no chop. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I think that is the end, my friends.
This is
It's been
the
awesome.
end. The end is nigh.
Yeah. Anyway, on that happy note.
Yeah, on the happy note, tomorrow is Tooth Fairy Day.
Yeah.
Does the
Jeez,
Tooth
dude,
Fairy,
I don't want to lose any more teeth, eh?
Does the Tooth Fairy operate during lockdown pandemic times?
No,
I don't know.
she's in quarantine.
Actually, there's another thought. Because it used to be that if you lose a tooth, the Tooth Fairy would leave a coin. What is the
Yes.
going rate these days? I mean, do we still have coins of that sort of value?
Bitcoin.
A tooth coin. A tooth coin. Oh, there's a new cryptocurrency.
That would be so cool.
A tooth coin.
Tooth coin. You get
A
a
tooth coin.
If you lose a
Tooth
tooth, you get
fairy
a tooth
coin.
coin.
I think next week we should talk about developments in cryptocurrency. Not cryptocurrency as an investment or cryptocurrency as
Like where it's going.
no, what are the practical things out there in the world that you can use it for? I've got something to talk
Sounds cool.
about.
You can
We'll
buy a
talk
Tesla.
about that. No, besides that. I mean, besides buying like something like
Yeah,
that.
can
There's
you
another.
buy-
There's another.
Weekend Craic apparel with Bitcoin.
Sorry.
Can you buy Weekend Craic apparel with our Bitcoins?
You should be
I've got a
able to.
Bitcoin address. If someone wants to pay me in Bitcoin, it's not a problem. They can
And
pay me in Bitcoin.
And then tooth coins.
And tooth coins, no, we're still going to develop that. We're going to have to cut that out of the episodes because otherwise someone's going to steal our idea. Okay. Now the three chops are talking shit. Time to go.
Okay.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, we'll see you next week
Cool.
for
Cheers.
episode 41.
41.
I suppose.